everyone, it's Stephanie from My Porch Prints. Welcome back. Today we're going to be making this December Days box kit, and this is a printable kit from our Etsy shop, and it includes this box design and then some cards to fill it. And these cards are for counting down the days until Christmas, and you can just decorate them using pieces from the kit. It's really fun. And then on the back you can add photos, or there's also places where you can like record what's going on as you get ready for Christmas. So it's just a fun little way to kind of count the days until Christmas time. So we're going to go ahead and print all of this out on cardstock, and then we will get started putting it together. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to assemble the box, and the pieces for that look like this. You've got a couple of sides and the front and bottom of the box, and then this is the back of the box. And per the instructions, I flipped them over and printed a printable paper on the back. I chose the red design for all of them so that it will match when the box is put together. And then it also includes these little pieces, and we're going to be using those after we assemble our box. So I went ahead and scored along all of the fold lines, and the fold line is underneath this red and white striped piece here, so that's where it's going to fold. And then same here, I just scored along all the folds. And so now we're going to go ahead and just fold the box. So I'm going to start with the tabs. And then we want to locate our side pieces. And the short side here is going to go along this front piece here, just like this. And you can use glue for this. I'm going to use tape because it's just faster. I don't have to wait for it to dry. You just want to line things up as straight as you can. And then same on the other side. Right, and then I'm going to add my adhesive to these long pieces, the tabs here. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold it right along this line here. And then we're going to fold this tab underneath the long side of our side. So again, fold here, and then this is going to glue onto here to create our box shape. You want to get that as straight as you can. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just fold this tab up and fold this piece on here. And that's giving us our box shape. And if this is, not sturdy enough for you, you could certainly use the pieces to trace onto some chipboard or something, a little bit more sturdy. And then you could trace it again, on this paper and cover the back side. So just basically like sandwich a piece of chipboard in between the design and the paper design, if that makes sense. But that's up to you. All right, and then this is our back piece, and it's going to go here to create the back of our box. So I'm going to start with this bottom piece and apply adhesive to the tab. And then I'm going to flip this over, show you, and align it with this bottom of the box. And you can see that's going to become our box piece. All right, and then same thing here. I'm going to apply, oops, I'm gonna fold it backwards for a moment and apply glue to the side tabs, or tape in this case. And then I'm gonna fold these up. Tuck them inside. There we go. And that has created our box. All right, and then we've got these decorative pieces and these feet. I'm gonna go ahead and add the feet next. So I've cut these out and they just fold in half right here. Match up the sides, just like that. And then it becomes a little like corner foot, and they're not super, you know, strong. Obviously they're made of cardstock. So again, if you want to strengthen them, you may want to like glue them to some chipboard, or, you know, add some sort of strengthening thing. Otherwise, just try not to smash them too hard, because they will, you know, fold, since they're made basically of paper. And these I'm gonna go ahead and just glue. So we want to add glue to the like kind of wing pieces on the sides here. We don't want to add it to this bottom circle, because that's going to be the actual foot. So we're just going to add glue here and here. And then I'm going to flip my box over and just add this to the corner. So we want to align it with the bottom here and the side. Create a nice little corner, just like that. And we'll just repeat that for all 4 sides, or all 4 corners. All right, we'll let those dry just a moment before we try to put any weight on it. And then we'll take a look at these pieces. So we've got some decorative pieces here that you can add to your box, and you can add other decorative pieces. You can do whatever you want to it, you know, add lace, buttons, decorate it up however you like. But these just come with it. And basically, you know, you can just add them to the front or the side, kind of however you want, whatever looks good for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take this piece, and it's made to look like hardware, obviously, so I'm gonna fold it up here and then kind of curve this forward, and it gives kind of that illusion of a piece of hardware. Okay, and I've got some mounting tape here, and I'm just going to use that to apply this to my box, because I want it to kind of stick up a little bit. And I think before I glue that down, I'm going to put this poinsettia behind it to give it kind of a, you know, a little more Christmassy look here in the front. And you can kind of just play with it and decide how you want to do it. Sorry, I have to tilt this so I can see what I'm doing. It's hard to do with the camera. Does that look centered? Let's hope so. You could always measure and make sure you're in the center, which is probably a smart idea. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Okay, so then that's the front, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and add this Merry Christmas piece onto the back, just add it a little more Christmassy element, and I think I'll just glue this one on. And again, you could go all out with this. You could add some lace or some cheesecloth or whatever you want, just to give it a little more texture, to dress it up a little bit more. I'm keeping mine really simple just for the demonstration here. Okay, and now we've got it sitting up on the feet, and I think our box looks pretty good. So now we can go and decorate our cards. Okay, so now is the really fun part where we get to do some serious decorating. And this kit is meant to kind of keep a memory of the days of December leading up to Christmas. And the way that you're going to do that is with each of these sort of tag cards They look kind of like a giant tag. And these are in 3 different sizes. So we've got a large size card, a medium size card, and a small size card. And that's so you can kind of layer them front to back in your box, and they'll have kind of a nice layered look. And we also have all kinds of things for decorating these cards. They come with pockets like these, and they come with tags to put in the pockets. There's fussy cuts, there's flowers, and there's numbers for counting down the days. So you can have, December 1st, December 2nd, December, all the way up to December 25th. And there's also photo frames that you can put on your cards. So the idea is that you could slide a photo in here, to keep track of a memory of that day, whatever you did, whether you were hanging up lights or watching a Christmas movie or decorating the tree. And then there's these, these kind of labels that come with it. And they're for recording, what you did that day. So did you hang out with family? Did you do some sort of Christmas tradition? There's a bunch of labels. And there's enough that there's a few extra. So if you have one that you're like, oh, our family doesn't really do, movies at Christmas time, then you don't have to use that label. You can use one of the other ones. And so these also come with the kit, and there's a page with these on it, but you can print as many as you want. So you can print this page, 10 times if you want to. And there's, again, large, medium, small, and then there's even an extra small one here. And these are just to put on your card. Maybe on the back would be a good place for it, because we're probably going to be decorating the front. And it's basically just to give you a writing space to record, what you did that day. So if you hung out with family, you can just write a little bit about it. Today I hung out with my grandson, we went outside and, built a snowman, whatever. So it's just a way to record kind of what you did throughout the month of December leading up to Christmas. It's really fun. And there's also these kind of big words that I think are kind of pretty for decorating. So let's go ahead and just decorate one of these and see how it goes together. So I'm gonna actually start with this big one here. And something to note that I think would be really cute is if you would sew around the edges, like using a sewing machine, that might give it a super cute, just kind of homemade look. I really thought about doing that. I might go over and put some stitches into this when I'm done. But for now, I'm just gonna show you kind of how to assemble one of these cards. And this is one of the larger ones. Again, there's large, medium, and small. And I did print on the back of these, so they all have different papers from the kit printed on the backs. But I'm going to start with this front side for decorating. So really you can just kind of pick whatever pieces speak to you, and you can create different looks on each card. They don't all have to be the same. Just kind of whatever looks pretty to you. Just keep in mind when you flip them over, whatever's showing will, poke out and have white on the back, unless you print it on the back, which you can do if you want to print a printable paper on the back of the decorative pieces as well. So I'm just going to play around here. You guys can follow along a little bit while I sort of get a layout going, and then we'll glue things down. And one thing to keep in mind is you may not want things hanging off the bottom of your card, because once we set them in the box, this will kind of get smushed and folded. So you probably want to keep the bottom of your card clean so that it can sit in the box nicely. And same thing with the side. I mean, there's a little bit of room to hang off the side. You can see kind of how it's going to fit in here, but you don't want this going too far over, because then your card won't fit in your box. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so we finished one, and I was thinking about sewing around the edges, but I don't think that would be a good idea now because it would go right through my designs. I think if I was going to do that, I would probably glue the pocket on, whoops, glue the pocket on and then sew around it and then decorate it. I think that would work probably best. But you can see kind of how these go together. Oops, I think I stuck this into some glue. There we go. They've got little pockets and tags and numbers so that you can have a number for each one to count the days down until Christmas. And then these just go inside of our box like this. And then what you would do is just start with the larger ones and back and fill to the front. So maybe number 1 would be one of these smaller pieces, you know, and then you would like kind of work your way up. It's up to you kind of how you want to do it. But I think that would make some sense. And then the larger numbers would be in the back up to 25. And there's a lot of different possibilities for decorating these. I think I will do maybe 1 or 2 more just to kind of show you some ideas. And if you end up, you know, using all of the ephemera, which is possible, you could print some more, just reprint the pages, or you could go look at our shop. We have a lot of Christmas fussy cuts and kits and ephemera that would probably go really well with this kind of traditional red and green color scheme. So again, there's lots of possibilities. Kind of have fun with it. I'm going to go ahead and do another one just to show you, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so we finished another card, and it's got this cute little pocket with this little Santa card, and then a place to put a photo of your family on the back. And we'll just add that to our box, and it'll start filling up as you add more and more cards to decorate. And this is just a really fun and cute way to keep track of the days of December. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Show us your kits, what you make when you put this together. We'd love to see. You can show those in our Facebook group. I'll put a link to that down below. We just would love to see what you do with this. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.